Hi everyone, and welcome to my course about how to create a portfolio in Figma. We are going to get started using these low fidelity mockups and creating our high fidelity design from them. First, we are going to start auto layout, and we are going to use these two elements to be able to position them correctly on our screen. So let's get started. Let's go down, let's press F, or we can select from here the frame. And we are going to start with the smallest screen, which is an Android. Great. Let's move our Android right beneath this frame. Great. Now, what we want to do here is the following things. We just want to take this logo, put it here, take this icon, copy it, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, put it here. Oops. What is happening to me? I need to remember to take the whole frame. Yeah, let's put it here. Good, like that. Now, we select both of items that we want, and we add something new, which is an auto layout. Well, auto layout can help us position our elements in another frame, and it's basically like a flexbox, but for Figma. So Shift A or pressing this plus button should give us an auto layout. They are now in an auto layout. We want our elements in this frame from here to be on the center. Great. We also want them, selecting the frame again. We want them not to have the contents. We want to be a fixed height. And now what we want is not to be packed, but we want them to have a space between them. So basically that means that we are going to have space between the two elements. If we selected packed, they would be closer to each other. We can set the padding between them, space between the items, you see. If we press 0, for example, they are very close. And now if we go here where it's alignment and padding and select space between, you'll see that they have some space between them. With that out of the way, we can name this menu. And I'm going to show you a nice cool trick. Say that we forgot our background. Because if we want to have a background, we need to have a rectangle, right? That's how most of the prototyping software works. So we make a rectangle, but you would expect that if I bring it here, it should get into the auto layout, right? No, it's not gonna work like that. I can press Control and trying that, not gonna work. So I need to bring it from here into my auto layout and put it on the bottom. And you would expect it would work, right? No, it's not gonna work. It needs a separate layout. As you can see, items are not happy with this idea. So basically what you need to do is to bring this into an auto layout. And then put this auto layout behind this layout. And now it works. And you obviously need to group all of this into something called menu. I know it's a bit odd, but that's how it works. And now we can adjust stuff. And if we want to adjust the whole thing, we just go to our menu. To our big menu. And we can adjust the whole thing. We still have some problems though, so let me just check. Yeah. And we can create another auto layout if we want to have more control over this, but for now, for our project right now, it's pretty good. So I'm not gonna do that. Just gonna be happy with what I have. And I can adjust it however I like. Okay, that's the first part. I hope you found auto layout useful, because it's really a cool feature to have. Takes some time to get used to it, but once you do, you'll feel like it's the best thing that ever happened. So trying to adjust it. Sometimes it's a bit fiddly, but for the most part it works. Because if you press hard contents, as you see, they are getting closer, but if you put them to fixed width, they should work. And they become packed automatically, so you need to space between. And you need to adjust the width. Be careful to always make the elements inside before you are doing the auto layout so they match up, or else you're going to get something like this. Let's carry on. So now we want to have our introduction. Let's go to the text. The text can be adjusted from here. Do we want it bold? No, we want regular. And then we can bring it into the center of the frame, obviously. But as you can see, we have a bigger problem. Our Android, our auto layout is not in our Android, so we need to drag it in. And then our text, we can leave it like that, and we can position it in the center. Let's see why the menu disappeared. It's really odd. Why would it do something like that? This is odd. Never happened before. Alright. Yeah, it wasn't dragged correctly inside, so we need to drag it inside like that, and we have it. This is perfect. You can adjust it a bit. Let's put it right here. And let's continue. If we press T, we get our text, so we can write UI UX designer. understands APIs. Okay. Let's go with that. Perfect, 24, 24. And now we can create our case studies, as you can see here. For that, I'm going to use a very simple plugin. But first, I'm going to use a rectangle. I'm going to create a rectangle here. 360 by 95 works for me, maybe a bit bigger. Let's say 120. Obviously, you can adjust it from here if you want the height. I just put it 120 for me. And I'm going to use the Unsplash plugin. I'm going to go under presets, under abstract. I'm going to search a bit. I like this one, for example. I'm going to keep it. Let's make this, I don't know, a lot bigger. Maybe leave it like that. Mobile. Okay, let's leave it like that. As you can see, I got this thing with Unsplash. We are going just to first edit everything that we want on it. So we want the title above this image or overlaying this image. So we are just gonna basically create another rectangle right now because I believe white is not gonna work for us. And we are going to adjust it on this image. I'm going to show you why in a second. We are just gonna create a nice black overlay. Let's put it to black. Let's put it to 90. Maybe lower. Let's try 85. 5 works. And we are going to put our text above this. It should pass the contrast checker or the I11 checker that I'm using for my designs always. So let's write this study. Study is going to be on white, so let's select white from this. And we're just gonna nicely move it inside. Yep. And now let's put it in the center, the design. I believe we should make it bold, so it's easier to be distinguished. Right now we can create a nice group. Select everything and Ctrl G. And we can call it case study. And we can create with Ctrl D a duplicate of it, and we just drag it down. 24 works. Works good. Maybe a bit more. 51 works better, yeah. Now we are going to create our bottom menu, As you can see here, we have a bottom menu. We're just gonna use the same tactic. So let's go here, create about, create another one, project, and create another one. Audit. Let's put them on the same lines. Select everything, Shift A to add an auto layout. We want them in the center. We want them with space between. Select everything. And we can put it here. And we can select to the center. That should center everything. We can also, if you want, add another background to everything from here. So selecting the auto layout, putting it here works pretty well. Same time, we can create another auto layout for a rectangle and put it inside. I don't know. I believe a simple rectangle underneath the layout, the auto layout, should work. And let's rename this menu to menu, top menu. It should be easy distinguishable. Let's add to this bottom menu a nice background. Like that. And we can change this color to white, maybe whitish color. Usually you need to keep with the brand, but in our case, a red background probably wouldn't be the best idea. It's hard on the eyes. It's always best to select from the navigation, I feel. And it's a good idea to keep it a bit whitish, so it attracts the attention, but it doesn't, you know, become the center of it. Also, if you feel like about project and free audit needs a lot more work, or you want it in another way to appear, you can adjust it to your own taste. What I want to show you in this course is how you can create using only very basic stuff a portfolio website, and that looks good and is easy to be used. I'm going to show you right now what I'm talking about. So going in case study, we are going to select the rectangle, and then we are going to select our text, and from our plugins we are going to use contrast. As you can see, it's AA, which is good, but some plugins work better than others. So going under plugins and using color contrast, you can see that in reality it has a 21 contrast ratio. So it has AAA, which means that it's going to be able to be used by any person, even if it has eye problems or other problems regarding visual aspect, you know. So it's very important to test multiple tools and see which one works for you. For me, this one works pretty well, so I'm pretty happy. I'm going for the other things that I have right here. So I'm going to open now the case study mockup, which is basically the same thing, but with a nice page. So let's see how we create this page now. To do that, we are going to rename this to mobile home layout. And let's hide and lock our low fidelity mockups. And we're going to just make a Control D, so basically a copy. And now we are going to name this case study layout. Case study layout, which is exactly what we want. So we need to ask ourselves if we want to keep an image here, and I think we do. So we are basically gonna delete everything from this one, except one case study. Great. We are going to move it up. Maybe just hug the menu right there. And we are going to write a little story. We are going to use a nice rectangle here, as we have there. We are going to position it in the center. But do we want this rectangle? That's the question. And I believe we don't, because it's easier for somebody to see when it's just white and black and easy to concentrate on the content. So let's go for the content then. We can write description, like, works. Let's put to the some colon, and let's start our description. So we are just gonna describe a hypothetically abstract background right now. So we're just gonna say that we have, I don't know, a project for color harmony, okay? And imagination. So I'm just gonna show you right now and read what I wrote. It's basically on the fly. So color harmony project started from the idea of developing creativity and imagination. And imagination. I think it's a pretty good start. What we want is to have the text on normal. And that should do it. And now we need our image. Thankfully, we can reuse our image from the case study, this time without any overlay. You can just drag it in our project like that. It looks pretty interesting, I believe. Or we can make it smaller, like half the screen. Let's see what's the dimension on it. 360. Should be 360. I need to put it in the center. So dividing this by 2, it should be 180. Yeah, works. Now we can write here the ideas that you know, that are from this project. Some people do that for their portfolios. I think it's an interesting concept, so let's try that. So we can write harmony. It's imagination, creativity, and we can take all this text and put it here, like so. It looks quite interesting, I believe. So if we select all of this, move it to the center, it's not okay. We can move all of this text to the right. We can also do something like this, which might be interesting. For this again, we would probably use an auto layout and try to connect both of them. But for what we are doing right now, it's perfectly fine to, you know, eyeball it. One of the problems that I saw right now is that we also need something down here to complete our project, so maybe we could write here problems that we needed to solve for this project. Or solution. Solution sounds better. Solutions. Yeah. And then we can copy the text from here to here. And we can write that we create background that can be seen from different perspectives. Obviously, I can do it like this if we want to see what we wrote. Create an abstract problem that can be seen from different perspectives. Yeah, and that should be our case study. Finished. I think it doesn't look bad, and it can certainly be improved and worked on, but we're heading in the right direction. So right now we are at our final high fidelity mockup that we are going to create today together, and that is the free audit. So let's take a look at what we have here. It's basically a simple form with a free audit. So let's see how we can create this. We are going to go here and create another layout. Control D, we are duplicating again, and we are going to call this free audit. Free audit layout. Great. What do we need to keep from this one? Well, not a lot, because we just need a form. We are going to create one. So deleting everything we had, probably the best solution. Start fresh. And let's hide our low fidelity mockup. So we only have this. Let's get started with it. So we just need maybe, yeah. We're going to create it under this one input. So this is going to be our name input. We are going to create a text which is going to be name, and we are going to call it name label. Both of these we are going to group them and call it form. We are going to handball it again. Eyeball it. I don't think we need it to be bold, so we can put it regular. And we certainly don't want this color, so we are going to go with the white color from here. And we are going to go under the stroke. We are going to add some stroke. I believe 0.3 should be enough to make it look presentable. Yeah, it does. We are just gonna take these two elements and we are going to Control D, so duplicate basically. Seven works, okay. We are just going to extend this input. Basically create a text area and rename this name to message. Select all this form and put it in the center. Like that. And now we are going to rename this one. The message label. And we are going to take this input, put it here and rename it text area. And now we just need our nice button for the free audit. So let's create an auto layout again, which might be interesting. So creating a rectangle like that. And putting our text inside it. It's gonna be the simplest way to do it. Audit. Let's make this an auto layout. Let's make this an auto layout as well. As you can see, they cannot be used together anymore, so they just can be only moved up and down, which is not what we wanted. So the only way to make it work usually is to go... Oh, okay. Just a second. Apparently I didn't take the whole frame. As you can see, it's just up and down. It's not gonna enter it. But to make an auto layout, we need to put it basically inside. So frame 2 is to be here. And now we can press Ctrl, I believe. Selecting the frame. Pressing Ctrl. Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay. Let's see how to auto layout a button. Okay, no. So basically we just add auto layout to our button. So rewinding all of this. All of this. Alright. Okay. So making a rectangle, putting our text in it, then making an auto layout. So let's make our nice text. Okay. Audit. Now we have an auto layout on it. And that's how you make a button with auto layout. Now we can put everything in the center. Which is great. Now we can even make this a component if we want to. To make a component, we just select this and we press it up here, and if we have a lot more buttons, we can keep the styles for all our buttons, but for what we need right now, it's not necessary. If I would work on a different project, I would certainly consider components to be vital. for bigger projects. So this is my free audit button right here. Just gonna stack it inside. And we are going to put this frame 2 with the free audit in the form inside. We are going to take the form and oops, yeah. Move it right in the middle of the screen. Okay. Something like that. Take the form and put it in the middle. Yeah, that's it. So that is our high fidelity mockups for our portfolio. You can certainly add a bit more space here. Here maybe like so. Easier to click, easier to see. Yeah. Now we are going to go to our prototyping stuff. And to start to be able to show others our mockups should connect to one another, we need to go under prototype, and we already have some flows from my low versions, but we are not interested in those, so we are just going to start on home, and it's not going to show that we have any prototyping here. What we want is when somebody presses this case study, we want them to show this page. Figma, we want Figma to show this page. And we are going to be on click, and we are going to be, I don't know, let's try move in. Let's see, is in and out. Not a bad idea here. And then connecting this case study again. Yes. Smart matching layers, yeah. Yes, let's use that. And let's test it. Let's see what we got for now. But at the same time, let's put this to go to our home page. Our logo should direct us to our home page. And let's put it on smart animate. Maybe move out. Let's put it move out, because we started with this movement and we should keep the same idea. Yeah. We need to be on our first layout that we want to be, so on the home. Now if we press Figma present, it should show us. We need to wait a bit until it loads, and this is our mockup right now. If we press case study, we should get, yeah, the description, the solution, which looks pretty nice from my point of view. And then if we press on the wolf again, we get to the home page again. Yeah, looks nice from my point of view. So I'm going to teach you how to use also the free audit. But what I want you to do is, after I'm showing you this, you can either double click until you are on the free audit, or you can select it from here. I'm just gonna connect this to the screen, and it's going to be move in and out again. What I want you to do is to use this wolf and connect it back to the home screen. This is your homework. And if you like to create other pages or other mockups for the other links that we have, feel free to do so. That is the way that you are going to increase your skill. And let's start again our present mode. Yeah, obviously we need to be on the home layout. That's what it tells us. And then we are going to open it again. And it should work. So let's see. Case study still works, right? Wolf works. We audit. And now, if we click anywhere, we see that we don't have any way to go back. So your homework is to make this wolf or the other logo that you're going to use. I would encourage you to use another logo here or create one yourself to make it go back. In the future, maybe we are going to explore how we can make this form a lot more dynamic. So see you guys next time in my next course. Take care and have a nice day. Bye bye.